Dal Egenti Show, broadcasting live each week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and view your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Dal Egenti Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.
Hey world, this is Jamie. Welcome to the Dal Egenti Show right here on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie. Happy Tuesday. It's September 20th, 2022. Now, everybody, let's dive this in. Everybody watched the Cincinnati versus Dallas game. We got 5 takeaways from that, okay? Now, let's start with the quarterback, Joe Burrow. Okay, now, Joe Burrow, big time. Well, you can't say a big time quarterback, but, he's getting up there. He's not a Tom Brady. I can't put him in that Tom Brady status. I just can't. He has not shown enough to galvanize his game to be a Tom Brady. Now he could, but you got to give him time to develop. And what I mean by that is having that stable offensive line. The man got sacked 6 times, and I heard a stat on the CBS broadcast that he got sacked a team high 51 times last year, and they were playing with nobody on that line. But yet, how do you add Lyon Collins, who was a disappointment in Dallas, to your right tackle line, and he couldn't block? Lyon Collins he's not that dude anymore. Like the guy, you saw how Michael was tearing him up. He tore him up badly, to the point where your quarterback gets sacked 6 times. Now, granted, as a Cowboys fan, that's great. But if you're a Bengals fan, I'll be concerned. Like, you want your quarterback to last maybe another season, maybe close to 5 or 10. I don't think this man can last at least 7 seasons. Just the amount of hits that he takes on every game. So they got to fix that. But other than that, he was not that great this past Sunday. And all because of the pressure. But let's dive into Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is more of a conservative quarterback. He's not no Dak Prescott. And I saw the posts that are saying, well, Cooper Rush is better than Dak. Hell no. Cooper Rush is not better than Dak. Cooper Rush is just a guy. He's just filling a spot. Like, granted, he made some great throws. He was able to climb he didn't really climb the pocket, but he was able to take his time, allow the receivers to run their routes and get the ball out. He got the ball out quicker. The Bengals were throwing out 6 to 8 guys on the line of scrimmage, and he was able to, change the play at the line of scrimmage. And he's more of a conservative quarterback. We're not expecting big numbers from him, but I want a stability quarterback that can get the job done, and Cooper Rush is that guy. Now, I don't see him being a full-time starter in Dallas, maybe a starter on another team, but I mean, he's a good complement to your backup role. Whenever you need something, he's right there. He threw a touchdown pass. He had 235 yards. I mean, it's manageable. It's not great. It's manageable. But my thing is, Cooper Rush can lead us, can take us as far as he can. I do think that Dak needs to rest a little bit more. I did hear in the broadcast that he could come back next week, or if Dak's saying that, I'll tell Dak, take your time. We'll be all right. We may not score 30 points like we're supposed to, but if we can get the job done, if he can able to climb the pocket, if he can be able to get some protection, which he did on Sunday, then all is not lost. I think we'll be fine. I think Dak should just take his time, let his thumb heal, and go from there. And I do want to bring in a second person here, Gabe. So, Gabe.
Yo.
What did you think? What did you think about Cooper Rush's performance? And what do you think about people saying, well, Cooper Rush is better than Dak? He should be a full-time starter moving forward. What did you think about that?
Well, I think anybody that's saying Cooper Rush is better than Dak needs to just stop talking.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't even make any logical sense if you saw the game that we saw. Mm-hmm. It's not that much. I mean, Dak didn't have a great game against Tampa, but we know who Dak is.
Yes.
He got all of the millions of dollars for a reason. Mm-hmm. Like, we got to stop. Cooper Rush has been a lifetime backup for a reason. Granted, he played well. First 2 drives, I was very, very impressed. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, we could easily take control of this game. And then they took their foot off the gas.
Right.
As the Cowboys tend to do. And I think it's more of a play calling situation because I think he was very comfortable.
Right.
He was seeing the field well. He wasn't forcing balls. It got to a point where he started to force balls, like when they started getting those 3rd and long situations. Mm-hmm.
Which we have to address because those 3rd and longs it's like the second game in a row where we got to make the right play call.
And I think I'm so tired, and we talked about this last week.
Sure.
But I'm so tired of those little swing pass outs to the running backs. I hate that play. I don't know why we run it. It never works.
It's just to fool the defense. The defense,
it doesn't fool anybody.
It does not.
It's literally a toss in the shotgun. So you're already starting it from 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
You're tossing the ball out and hoping that your running back can get outside. But, oh, wait, you got Zeke back there. Right. Zeke is not outrunning anybody at this point. And I love Zeke, but I'm just saying, like, I got to be real.
I mean, here's the thing. You know, the way Cincinnati threw a bunch of defensive packages on us. They threw 6 to 8 guys on the line of scrimmage to the point where Cooper was able to get the pass off.
And then they started to bail in the second half.
Right.
So they showed that same blitz, and they bailed. So now he's having to read, this is the zone that they dropped to.
Right.
And it wasn't working. It couldn't. The play calling wasn't fitting what he was seeing on the field. And you kind of saw a little bit of that confusion.
I did see it. I did see a little bit of it. I do see this, but this popped in my mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you think that Cooper Rush did they open the playbook for him more than? Well, my question would be, did you think they opened the playbook more for him this game, or can you say that they're saving the playbook for Dak? Because I felt like when Cooper got to the line of scrimmage, he was able to call his own plays. The way the defense was, like they were showing 6 or 8 at the line of scrimmage, the way Cincinnati was.
Like we talked about last week, we wouldn't have found another quarterback who was that comfortable in the system.
Right.
He's been in the system for years at this point. Like, since, honestly, probably as long as Dak. Like, so he has the understanding of the offense, of what plays to run. Him and Noah Brown had a connection clearly.
Yeah, clearly a connection.
So it was a lot of comfortability. Yeah. So I think he just had free reign, similar to how Dak was. So they didn't call it much different, if we're being honest. I mean, if we were down by 10 points or something like that and he would have had to pass the ball, then we would have seen exactly what we saw last week from Dak because it was the same performance. Right. So, I mean, he was 19 of 31, I believe, or something like that.
He was Cooper was 1931 for 235.
Yeah, which is decent. It's a decent game.
Yeah.
I just think they took their foot off the gas in the second half,
like they always do. Because this league is all about points, it's style points. So you have to keep your foot on the gas. I think the play calling was a little conservative for me. I felt, we got it. Like I said, the way Cincinnati was playing their defense, it was like 6 to 8 at the line of scrimmage. I'm like, well, no, at this point, you got to keep it up because when I saw that they were driving a little bit, I just felt like, okay, we got to speed the offense up. We got to, can we get more pass plays? Can we put Pollard in space? Because I felt like this game was Pollard's game.
Yeah.
The way the defense was showing out, this was Pollard's game, and not necessarily Zeke Elliott.
They should have fed him a lot more.
They should have.
I personally think Pollard is our every down back, and Zeke is more of a third down back at this point. But
I can't. Well, I can't say that because, and here's why.
Yeah,
I feel like Zeke is a power runner. Zeke can get you the first and second down back. I'm sorry, second down run. Pollard, even though he can get those things, I feel like he's more of a slick runner. He can like slice through the line of scrimmage. He's still, to me, he's still a third down back. I don't want to use him on third down. I want to see, every team's defense, what they throw out there. Like, for example, if the defense is more physical, if they have if they're throwing a 3-4 defense, right? I want Zeke to be out there a lot more than Pollard is.
Yeah.
Because this game, you can easily, give Pollard maybe about 12 or 13 more carries.
And I would agree with you 100% if our offense was structured different.
Right.
The reason I say that is because our offensive line is not up to par necessarily.
They're not.
So for a back like Zeke, you have to move the line of scrimmage. You can't just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
At least with Pollard, we can get him out in space.
Right.
We can try to throw him some screens and stuff like that. Zeke is not as mobile as he once was.
He's not. But the thing about it is they're going to continue to throw out. They're going to continue to throw him out there because Jerry says so. Yeah. I think the play call. I think it is a game-by-game basis for me. Yeah. For me, this was Pollard's run game. Yeah. I think, when you talk about the Giants and the Eagles, which, I don't think we have the Eagles next, but the Giants.
We got Washington after the Giants.
Yeah. The Giants, which I'll watch more film out at later this week, I think that they're more of a physical team. I think their secondary is a little suspect, but I think they can throw 7 easily at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I think
that's kind of what they did to Christian McCaffrey last week. That's what I noticed. They're very, very physical on defense. Offensively, they leave a lot to be desired. So that's good for our defense because our defense has been playing out of this world. But we'll get to that.
Definitely. So offensively, right? I mean, 20 points is 20 points against a team that threw 6 or 8 guys on line of scrimmage. They're not the same team. It's early, but they're not the same team as we saw last year.
Yeah.
Now, let's dive into Noah Brown's development, okay? I heard the interview this morning with him when he was doing the Cowboys Hour yesterday. He's a great kid. Now, I was thinking about this. We talked about we're getting receivers because every team needs whenever injury goes down, a team will reach out to receiver to work out and sign him right away. Does Noah Brown right now, can he be that third guy?
He can, but right now he's playing the 2.
Okay.
Because we don't have Gallup, so he's playing out of.
I mean, Gallup won't be 100% healthy, though.
Exactly. Even when he gets back, he's not going to be 100%.
He'll be like at least 50, but the way the Cowboys structure their players, they just throw them out immediately. Like, for example, like Dak can come back next week. I'm like, well, Dak has a broken thumb. I never played quarterback, but at least you got to have
all 5 fingers.
All 5 fingers to play quarterback to get the ball out and all that stuff. So, no.
Yeah.
But Gallup needs about another 2 weeks.
I think so too.
If anybody out there had an ACL injuries, you would know that's like a 6 to 9 month injury.
Yeah.
Or maybe
longer, depending on.
It depends how the player's structured, though.
Depends on your recovery and all of that. All of that stuff plays into it. It's a very, very particular injury. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very, very, very. It's not simple to recover from. That's the bottom line.
No, yeah. So, according to Jerry, it is. Jerry said Dak can come back within 4 games.
I'm so sick of Jerry.
I'm like, hey. I mean, whatever gives us a chance. But I'm not. But I agree with you though. Like,
just chill. Everybody, I feel like we're in a place right now where we can really develop some of these young guys.
Exactly.
Like, even if we don't make the playoffs, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't really, because I don't think we're going anywhere when we get to the playoffs anyway, unless our defense is just still killing and playing out of this
But
world.
the defense
would have to carry us there.
They got to score points. So
and they got to score points.
Like for example, I saw a stat like, we didn't force any turnovers on Joe Burrow. We could have easily done that, but I think he was more a little passive. In the pocket, which I was very surprised seeing him being a little more passive.
And they have the best receiving core in the league.
They do.
It's not even an argument.
They do.
So I think that holding Joe Burrow to 199 yards, our defense is different. Our defense is different. We're not the turnover machine that we were last year. We're not going to create all those turnovers, but we're going to play solid defense, and we're going to make you kick field goals. We made Tom Brady kick field goals.
And Tom Brady's not happy about that either.
Not at all. And that's a fully healthy Tampa Bay. That was with Julio Jones. That's with Mike Evans. That's with all of these guys that they got.
All these guys, and you hold them to 19
points. That's not to go understated. And if we had an offense like we had last year,
right? I mean,
we win that game.
I mean, time would tell, right? Time would tell. Like we don't have like we're definitely missing Amari's presence. We're definitely missing Gallup's presence. I think guys like Noah Brown could hold us over till they can come back. Or better yet, I want Noah Brown to be a full-time receiver. Maybe have that second guy develop. And, you never know
and I
what he
personally
can come
think
out.
This is going to sound crazy. But I probably sound like the people that was saying Cooper Rush is better than Dak. But I honestly think that Noah Brown is the best receiver that we have on the field.
You know what?
CeeDee Lamb.
You know what? I have to agree because CeeDee Lamb didn't do enough. He had a decent game, but he didn't do enough to learn from like route running to like how to fight off defenders, because these guys, these cornerbacks that we're playing against, they're like $155 to like $190 at best, and they're smaller. So CD should have the leverage to go over them. Like if you're trying to be a number one receiver, you have to make yourself, even if they're playing cover 2 or man to man, you got to be able to beat that coverage.
Yeah, I think we undervalued Amari Cooper.
We did. I think we got rid of him too quickly. Yeah. I think he wanted to. I think we could have built a connection.
Yeah, and I think CD could be a number one receiver if he had more time to develop his skill set. Like
they don't
give him enough time.
They don't give him enough time.
Like you let Amari Cooper go, but okay, he's not ready for that yet. Like his skill set is not there yet. You can clearly see it. He doesn't create enough separation. He drops too many balls.
Right.
Like. I mean, I love CeeDee Lamb, and I think he is an incredible talent.
Yeah.
But I do think Noah Brown is the more complete receiver. Maybe that's a better way to say it. He's not better, but he's the more complete receiver.
I do see that. Yeah, he is the more complete receiver. He's the only receiver we have on that field right now. I mean, I wish that they – he was on the field a lot longer. I mean, again, he can't block.
Yeah.
Because he's not physical enough. But at least, he finds a way to get open. And he's also Cooper's favorite target because they were on the second team with each other during practice.
It's very comfortable. You can see the chemistry. It's not even like it's not even just like forced. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With CD, he was throwing him passes, but it seemed a little forced to me. Like
yes.
It seemed in certain scenarios, like he threw, I think, if I remember looking it up, it was like 12 balls or something like that.
But he
caught 7 out of the 12.
But you could understand that. You could understand that was your number one. You're going to try to get him involved. Like Cincinnati, I think Jamar Chase was shut down for about 2
catches.
2 catches on Trayvon. He had 5 catches in the game, but on Trayvon he had 2. So I think they were trying to get him more involved in the game. Yeah. I mean, and also. T. Higgins was the one. He didn't have a catch in the first half.
Yeah, Boyd.
He started to get going.
Boyd was the biggest receiver in the first half.
Yes, and they couldn't get going. Yeah. So I look at our receiver core. We only have 2 legitimate receivers, which is Noah Brown and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Noah being, he could be a number 1 receiver. Not maybe not on this team, but maybe on somebody else's team.
And I'm gonna tell you, Dalton Schultz is gonna always keep a fumble. He's always gonna find a way to lose that ball.
Yes, he's not built like a tight end. Tight ends are supposed to be physical. Tight ends are supposed to block, and once they chip block the pass rusher, they're supposed to get out of space. I don't see Dalton Schultz being that guy. Yeah, that's out of space. I think we undervalue his physique a little bit. He's not that physical tight end. My tight end will be built like a Tony Gonzalez, maybe a Jason Witten,
Gronk.
Gronk. Yeah. Those type of guys.
Even Kyle Pitts has the build.
But Kyle Pitts is no tight end. I knew coming out Kyle Pitts was going to be a receiver. So, why put him at tight end when he's built like a receiver? And I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't want to get into Kyle Pitts because I'm actually mad at him right now because I started him in my fantasy and he didn't do nothing. He got me 2 points. I still won, so I'm good. But I'm a little mad at him right now. He'll be benched next week.
Don't be mad, bro. You'll be all right. as long as he has a quarterback.
Yeah.
Then he'll get you your points.
Yeah. Which he doesn't have a quarterback, so he won't be getting me any points. So he'll be benched for the rest of the season. But yeah, back to the boys, man. I do think that Cooper Rush played well. Going back to the topic at hand.
Okay.
I do think he played well. I think that people are a little bit overreacting.
Well, that's
natural
more
for
of
Cowboys fans, but
that's more of like I follow groups like G-Bag and the Dallas Cowboys fans, and it was like half and half, right? So half were like G-Bag was saying, not those guys, fans of G-Bag were saying, okay, well, we got our quarterback. Cooper is better than Dak. Dallas Cowboys fans were saying the same thing. Half of them were. To me, Dak is always going to be that quarterback.
Yeah.
Like Dak can get us to where we need to go. Now, if Jerry stayed out of the way, like we've always been saying, then we'll have success. But we will never be successful in this division if Jerry's always going to be in the way of things. He's going to be always talking about that bull crap about, okay, well, you got a torn ACL, you can come back in 2 weeks. Or you got a torn Achilles, you'll play next week.
And I just still, for some reason, he does this every year, and I don't know why I'm still shocked. But why are you speaking on player injuries as an owner? Like, it'd be different if you had if you were the coach or something.
I think it's by control. I think, and it's control, right? I think that, and the Cowboys have the best training staff in the league. Let's not get that twisted. And I agree with you. I think trainers don't do interviews. I've never seen a trainer do an interview. The trainers are direct information to the coach. Coach is supposed to give out injuries. Okay, well, Dak has a broken thumb, or Michael Gallup has a torn ACL. He's going to be out this game. Why is Jerry on these interviews saying, well, this guy can come back in weeks, which he has never touched a football in years. He's about taking our money and running with it.
Yeah.
Like that game, that like do you ever go, have you ever experienced a training room?
Me?
I have.
Yeah, I have.
I seen the work that these trainers put into the players on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And I seen the information directed to the coach and say, you know what? This player's going to be out. But Jerry says it differently.
Yeah. Like,
they allow this man to say, you know what, Jerry, we want you to don't say anything. I want to say stuff for you guys. Mm-hmm. Okay? I know what's going on in this team. Yeah. I know the trainers. I know the players for firsthand. I hang out with the players.
Bottom line is, man, Jerry's about his money.
Right.
Jerry's about nothing but his money.
Right.
And every person that he's hired needs to perform and produce. That's his thought process.
It's control. I mean,
it's control.
It's easy to say that, but it's like he doesn't allow anybody to do their job. Exactly. Like Mike McCartney. He got Aaron Rodgers was carrying him. Kellen Moore was back up to Tony Romo, and he didn't see the field as much. Then he's all of a sudden he retired. And then now he's calling plays. His plays are a little suspect, but give or take.
Yeah, I want to give Kellen Moore some credit.
Okay.
So, because I be hating on him a lot.
Yeah.
I think he did well in the first half.
Okay.
I think his problem is when there's a lead, he tends to get conservative.
Yes.
I also hate some of the little tricky plays that he be doing. I don't like that.
Can we get rid of the tricky plays? Because I feel like, they're setting us up for failure. So those 3rd and 14s, like you're asking our backup quarterback to throw for 14, 15 yards, which we don't have the best route running receivers in the game.
Yeah. So you're asking him basically to force balls into zone
coverage. Turnovers.
Into cover 2s and cover 3. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make
I don't understand.
All of those little, like the little swings and the little reverses and all of that stuff. Like, no,
you're not fooling anybody.
You're not fooling anybody, and it literally puts you behind the line of scrimmage. So you're doing all of this mess behind the line of scrimmage before you even take off and go forward. To me, that doesn't make any logical sense. I've never understood those plays, whether it be from the Cowboys or anybody else.
Right.
Because they don't work.
Right.
They just don't work.
I guess a front that has, let's give Cincinnati a little bit of credit on their defensive line. They have some decent players, but it's like you're throwing 6 to 8 on the line of scrimmage. You cannot run those plays. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna
tell you, Tyler Smith played his ass off.
He did. He did. He held his own.
Yeah.
The one player that I have an issue with is Terrence Steele. Now, Terrence Steele, he held up in this game, but moving forward, I have an issue with him. I have an issue with him blocking, these pass rushers.
When we play Philly, that's going to tell me everything I need to know.
It's going to,
Philadelphia,
even New York.
The Rams,
New York, the next opponent, because, the guy can't give you much. Like, I can bank on Zach Martin. I could bank on the center. I can't pronounce his name, but Fiocco is the left guard. He did. To his credit, he did well.
Yeah.
Tyler Smith. He's only going to grow from here. But at some point during the season, I feel like teams are going to put their best pass rusher on Terrence's side, because knowing that he cannot block, he can't hold a block for longer than three or 4 seconds, because I think that's how much Cooper Rush needs. Yeah. He needs 3 or 4 seconds. He can't climb the pocket like Dak does. Nah. Like I'm not expecting him to give me that 5 to 10 yard run on like second and 4 or
he's locked in the pocket.
4.
He's locked in the pocket. And
exactly.
And that's fine. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are like that.
But at the same time, you got to know your receivers.
Exactly.
Cooper knows one receiver. Yeah. Dak knows like 2 or 3.
Exactly.
Like in the first game, Dak knew one receiver, even though Tampa was playing a lot of cover 2. Mm-hmm. This game, if Dak played, he could have easily exposed their defense. But I think like you say, conservative play calling.
Yeah. And I think Dak is, to give Dak some credit too. Mm-hmm. Dak, he sees the field well. Mm-hmm. I think his accuracy is the problem. The reason why we see so many deficiencies in his game is because he's not the most accurate quarterback. He never was.
He's not.
At Mississippi State, he was the same way. I've been watching him his whole since college.
Right.
So, to me, I kind of knew what I was getting. So nothing really shocks me.
Right.
I just wish the play calling was more fitting for the quarterback that we have. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to force Dak to be something that he's not.
Yes, and and I agree with you. most teams in the NFL score more than 20 points, right? And right now we don't. Right now, I can't tell you of a team that has that high. Well, I can tell you Buffalo. Yeah. Buffalo has that high power offense. We're never going to beat Buffalo. No. Like I don't want that type of Buffalo offense. Well, then again, Miami's offense is pretty good. And they have a quarterback that is hot or cold, like And Tua's game is more of a. Tua's game is more of a it's more like a second string quarterback thing. He doesn't impress you as much as What other quarterback can I say that can produce those numbers, but yet he can go back to reality?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston is one of them.
Matthew Stafford. I got a list.
Yeah,
I thought about it.
I mean, those guys get the job done.
Yeah,
those receivers run poor routes like our receivers do, but they get the job done.
Yeah,
and honestly, at some point, when does Mike McCartney take over the play calling? When does he say, you know what? I want to score 30 points.
Well,
I want 30 points.
I would love. Part of me is like, I don't want him to take over the play calling because he's not a good clock manager.
That's true.
So he's horrible at clock management. One of the worst I've ever seen.
But at the same time, you got to understand something. Our defense, even though our defense is athletic, I don't expect them to be on the field more than 30 minutes at a time. Like Micah Parsons played a whole entire game.
Yeah.
Like the second time this season has done that.
Yeah.
Like he's fit enough to do that. But I don't want our defense to, long term wise, we cannot have our defense sit on the field for 30 plus minutes.
No, because all these defensive games are going to get tiring.
Yeah,
they're going to get exhausted.
Exactly.
Especially because we got people like D-Law who are veterans that aren't used to playing like that.
Right.
We got people, and he's been very, very quiet. Which is concerning.
It is very concerning. I need him to step up his game. At some point, I need him to step up. Like you cannot be that veteran, but you cannot sit back and say, I'm just gonna, mentor these guys. Michael does not need no mentoring. Michael
is a generational talent.
Exactly. Like you talk about the ultimate sacrifice of not doing the Skip and Shannon interview after a loss and say, you know what, I'm going to get back and get better and come back and produce 2 sacks. Yeah. Like I think he has 4 sacks already.
Yeah,
and he can. He's on record. My prediction will be 22 sacks, considering the fact of where he lines up and considering the type of blockers that these teams have. Mm-hmm. This man's unstoppable.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a mentor guy.
No,
like.
You won't see another pass rusher with that speed.
Generational talent.
It's different. It's different.
Exactly.
It's very, very different. I can't put it into words.
Exactly.
But when you see generational gifts, you know it immediately.
Right.
Like there's nothing to really question at that point. But on the other side of this, on a good note, Anthony Brown has been quiet.
That's very concerning on my part because he was the most penalized player last season, and
it's
I was like,
to you?
"It is. It is because you have to, opposite Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
You got to have a second guy. Like if Trayvon is, well, I can't say safety help, but if Trayvon's having a horrible game against their number one, I expect Anthony Brown, who is a veteran, to step up. That's concerning to me.
Well, let me debate that point real quick.
Okay.
Because I do feel that as a corner, when your number's not being called, you're doing something right.
Okay.
You're doing something right.
You're doing something right.
How? Because you're not they're not throwing the ball on you. They're not throwing the ball on you. But only time you hear corner's name is if they throw the ball at the receiver that they're covering.
But at the same time, though, like if Trayvon can't get that interception we need, like I expect Brown to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I expect them to jam these receivers at the line of scrimmage. We're playing against some top receivers in the next few games. Like, I expect them to jam them. Yeah. Like, I don't expect Trayvon to get every interception or every pass deflect. I expect Anthony Brown to step up. I mean, I'm not saying he's playing badly. I'm saying, like, you know, when his numbers call, he's got to be ready to step up.
Oh, and I think we're kind of saying the same thing. I just see it on a different side.
Right.
Because I'm looking at it like, all right, yeah, he's quiet. I love when corners are quiet, personally, because I know what that means because I played the position.
Right.
And if I've been kind of watching him a little bit when they allow you, when you see it on the field. So I've been watching him a little bit. He looks different. He looks like he has a different energy about himself. He looks like he's playing with a different level of, like, he's a coverage corner. Trayvon is very aggressive.
Okay.
Trayvon doesn't play the best coverage, but Anthony Brown
I do see
is
that.
solid.
I do see that, though.
Yeah.
I do want to see more out of him because we got, like I said, we got some decent receivers in the next coming games. Like Sterling Shepard's no joke, and I can't pronounce his name. Kevontae Toney, is the receiver on the Giants.
Yeah.
Yes. So those guys, I don't know how Sterling Shepard's going to fare, but I know Tony's a younger player, and I know he wants to be the best. So
and I'm gonna tell you, dog, I don't fear no receiver in the NFL after this last game.
Really?
I don't fear any of them.
Really?
Not one. Because we just played against the best receiving core in the league.
I mean, you know, Jamar Chase is going to get his. T. Higgins is going to get. Tyler Boyd is going to get his. But it's the pressure. The pressure. The ball has to get out. And I felt like when Michael was there, and you know, or Leighton Vander Esch or somebody else is there, the ball's not coming out.
Yeah.
And so we're doing something correct in that process. Yeah. But when the ball is, when a quarterback's slinging it like that, well, if he's throwing over 300 yards, then we got to be on our toes. We got to be able to defend these receivers at the line of scrimmage because you never know, any receiver can have a breakout game. Any. I'm not.
That's true.
I'm fearing one receiver in this division, and it's the one in Washington. I don't fear one in Philly because I think Philly's going to be a hit or miss. I don't fear them in Giants because the Giants, first of all, they're suspect, and their 2-0 is not surprising, and then Washington, they're nothing to me. Yeah. Like the one receiver that I fear is the one in Washington. That's the only receiver I have a problem with. Other than that,
I mean,
I don't.
I'm not gonna lie to you. AJ Brown in Philly is a little, because I've seen what he's capable of.
Right. In space.
Again, nobody scares me though. Like there's some concern.
I know it doesn't, but I know nobody does.
Yeah.
And I can say that for myself too. But however, he does not scare me.
Yeah.
Because because the way Jalen Hurts plays quarterback, he's the same way as Dak. The only difference in Jalen Hurts' game is that he has help. Like Dak doesn't have that help. He has help to the point where if his accuracy is off, he can take it off and run. You know, more than 10 yards.
They have a solid tight end. They
got pieces all around.
They got a lot of pieces.
On paper, on the field, it looks good. But moving forward, I still think. I mean, our offense at some points got to score more than 20 points, but our defense can hold those type of receivers to nothing.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have one of the top 5 defenses in the league when the season is over.
I agree.
I think that's why I say I don't really fear anybody. Not to say that I don't respect anybody else. Right. I don't really fear any of the receivers on our schedule from top to bottom.
You don't?
Maybe Cooper Kupp when we go to LA.
Okay. Cooper Kupp is more of a.
He's gonna get yardage. He reminds me so much of Wes Welker.
Yeah.
That type of receiver,
but
more
the difference
athletic.
Between him, exactly.
And so I do think that he's a beast. He's a fantasy stat stuffer. Like, I wish I would have drafted him, but but no. In all seriousness, I do think that we got a really, really good defense.
Yeah,
and I don't fear many of the teams from a defensive side of the ball.
Right.
Now on offense, I'm nervous as hell.
Okay.
Because we don't have anything that totally just jumps out off the screen right now.
Right
we
now.
don't have,
right now.
Right at this moment.
Right now, because right now, you know, like I said, we got to score more than 20 points. Cooper Rush has to, you know, the only difference I have is Cooper Rush has a good game. Let's open up the playbook for him a lot more. We'll see what he can do against a defense that, you know, can throw 6 to 8 at the line of scrimmage, or throw cover 2, or a dime or a nickel defense. Let's see what he can do.
We have a good enough defense where we shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes.
No,
I'm being honest.
We
like
shouldn't.
We have a solid enough team on defense that we don't got to be worried about. Oh, if he throws a pick, okay, he threw a pick.
Right.
We good. Our defense gonna hold him to 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about it. I don't know. I just think that offensively they do need to, like you said, they need to open it up.
Yeah.
Let him sling the ball. Let him get comfortable.
We got
doing
6 to 8 weeks.
We got that's what I'm saying. We got time to really get into a groove, and we got some easy teams on our schedule coming up outside of LA. I think.
Yeah. Well, then again, LA is like a hit or miss. Yeah. Like there's no. I mean, we just got to see in the next couple of weeks and see where we're going to be at in 6 to 8 weeks time. I do think in 6. You know, I do think, like I said, and this will be my final take. I do think that Dak needs to take his time to come back. I do think we have a solid backup in Cooper Rush. He's not well. I say solid the key word solid because he can get the job done.
Yeah.
I do think our receivers need to you know, focus on more route running. You know, maybe at some point, if there's an injury, which I hope there isn't, then I think, you know, Odell or some other receivers got to be available. Offensive line wise, we got to protect better in the next few weeks because I think we're going to face some decent talent on the front line. Defensively, we're going to be all right on defense. It's not that bad. I have a concern about the defense being on the field a lot longer. I felt like this game, they're on the field. It got close to it because I think in the fourth quarter they were on the field for the entire fourth quarter. Yeah, and that's how Cincinnati was able to make their comeback. You know, we didn't put enough points on the board for them to rest.
Like our first drive after halftime was a 3 and out.
Yes.
The drive after that, 3 and out. So
we can't have that. Those we can't have droughts like that. We gotta mix it up.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with all of that. I just think that we're in a very, very vulnerable space right now. This can go really good or really bad. And I say
time will tell.
The only reason I say that it could potentially go bad is because of the fact that they won't let Cooper Rush free. They won't let him be free. I just kind of know how they operate, and they're not gonna let him throw the ball 30 times a game again.
They're not.
They're not gonna let him.
They're not.
They're not gonna
look at the one in San Francisco. San Francisco suffered a major injury.
That's what I'm saying.
And you know, Jimmy's been in the offense. He literally took the team to nearly a Super Bowl championship. Was in a minute away.
Yeah.
And they're opening up more than Trey Lance was given. And so I want that. I want that type of quarterback.
I do too. I do too.
And you know,
he has the potential to be that. I do think that Cooper Rush
weeks.
has the potential to be that.
In 6 weeks, because this is what we got to do.
Yeah.
In 6 weeks, not in like what this. So Dak would be like. So you got the Giants, and then you got 2 more games, according to Jerry. So we're saying about mid-October, but logical sense would be like October, the end of October into November after the bye week. Yeah. So that you're talking about giving Dak an extra week to rest. So that's like what, 7 weeks.
Yeah.
A crucial time is November because everybody's trying to, see where they're at. Mid-October, it doesn't matter right now, but mid-October into early November, we got to see where we're at.
And if we're sitting at 500 when Dak comes back, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Because
exactly.
At the end of the day, I don't need Cooper Rush to go undefeated while Dak is gone. I would love it.
Right.
I'll take it.
I mean, if the defense holds opponents to 18 points a game, then there's hope.
There is hope, and the only way that we're gonna be a consistent team and really start building something is to open up this playbook right now. Because it's not just affecting Cooper Rush, it's affecting everybody on that entire offense. So the more that they get comfortable, when Dak gets back, it's like, all right, it's butter now.
Right,
it's butter, and we kind of have a plan.
Right. Yeah, you got to keep this. You got to get the type of receivers that we have. We got to get them in space. But thanks for that. Let's switch gears to college football. UNT, okay. Now UNT played against a UNLV team. This team was 2-10 last year. Okay, we went in there and laid a fucking egg. 58-27. Are you serious? Like, okay. My takeaway is, number one, Ani didn't play that bad. It's only he wasn't given enough opportunities to shine. He threw 2 interceptions and 2 touchdown passes, but at the same time, he was not given enough plays to shine out there against a UNLV team that showed a lot of pressure, and they were more physical up front. And their quarterback is no joke either. He's not spectacular, but he got the job done with his running and his a little bit of throwing as well, but more running, because their running back had over 200 yards rushing. The quarterback had 100 yards. So that tells you something between those two quarterbacks, Ani and the quarterback in UNLV, Brunfield. Brunfield's more of a runner. Ane's more of a conservative quarterback. I think he was playing too conservative to the point we only scored 27 points. Well, actually, 20 points on offense. So this game, we got our ass kicked. That's reality. Let me get to number 2. I have a problem with this guy being our head coach, okay? You're telling me in 7 seasons, you are the longest tenured coach in Texas. Longest. That's, everybody in Texas is firing their coaches left and right in college. But Seth Luttrell being there for 7 seasons, oh, man, that's a blessing. That is a blessing to the point where you go 0-5 and you're barely 500. Like, this team is supposed to be elite. Elite on offense and elite defensively, which that'll be the next point. But Seth Luttrell is not the man. He's never going to be the man for this job. And I just don't know why we continue to give him praise. Like, the continuous mistakes that he's made. Like, I don't see him as a leader amongst men. There's no, like in this game, there was no adjustments after halftime. Like, what'd you do after halftime to get them off the field? Because it felt like if they were on the field a lot longer than they were supposed to be. Like I said, this team went 2-10 last year with a rookie head coach, which, by the way, the head coach is no joke on their side. But yet, Seth Luttrell, we're supposed to compete for championships, and we're nowhere near a championship berth. Better yet, a title in the conference. But yet, you want to go to a new conference to win a title there. You can't win a title in this one. How do you go 0-5 in bowl games? How do you go under 500 on the road in conference games? This is not a conference game. This was just a non-conference game, which went bad in the first, all game long. We can't sustain any drives. Our player personnel is terrible. The play calling, I don't know what the hell you're throwing out there. Like like the people in Denton, they probably listen to the show, and they probably watch me. Listen, listen. Let me be real with you. We're not good at all. Period. We're not, bro. Like we're supposed to be top tier. Like it's supposed to be Texas 1, North Texas 2. We're not that team. And Seth Detrell's not that coach. I like to see them make a move as soon as possible, because this can go bad quickly. Goes to my third point. Number 3, the defense got exposed, guys. So I don't know what we threw out there. I don't, as far as why we have some decent players on defense, but defensively we gave up 49 points. If you want to be realistic, a bunch of big plays. Their running game. Even though the running back was a physical back, like over 200 yards, that doesn't sit well with me. And your quarterback runs for 100 yards, and he's not even in the top tier quarterbacks in the college football. Like, something has to give, man. You are an experienced defense, and there's no leaders on that on that defensive unit. You could say Katie Davis, who sacrificed moving on last year. Like KD, you could have easily moved on. It's like if nothing works on one team, right? Go to the next team. You want to compete for a championship. You want to be noticed, recognized. You want to be recognized, Katie Davis. You go to a team, or go to a school that is well recognized, that you can get more NFL scouts to come to your games. They ain't coming to North Texas because of your record, of the defense, giving up numerous plays. And that's where my frustration comes. We don't have a established scheme on defense. We just throw a bunch of players out there that know how to tackle. That's all we can do. Like, we can't play no cover 2, cover 3, a nickel, dime, or a 4-3 defense without giving up a big play. I don't see any leaders on defense other than the defensive coordinator, Phil Bennett, who's been in there for 40-plus seasons. Who, by the way, if we lose the next 5 games, you never know. He could be the next. He could be an interim coach. He could be. But then again, I don't see this team doing anything right now. Maybe after the season, when they lose the next 8 games, then maybe they'll do something then. But it'll be too late. Then again, we waste our time investing so much in this team that they can't get the job done. And they never will. Our defense will not get us to where we need to go. And we talked about consistency. Our defense is nowhere near consistent. Number 4, the next 5 games is important, guys. We got Memphis next. We got Florida Atlantic, the start of conference play. We got a bye. We got La Tech. We got UTSA. We got Western Kentucky. Note this. Those teams are no joke, okay? Memphis is no joke. Florida Atlantic is no joke. The bye week definitely is no joke. La Tech is no joke, even though we can play against La Tech a little bit. We got UTSA, no joke, definitely. And we got Western Kentucky. The only issue that I have was UTSA, do not come to our campus and post pics of yourself wearing jerseys that you're going to wear for the game. You did that on Texas's campus, and look at their end result. That's bulletin material, guys. Do not do that shit, okay? Do not do that on this campus. Now, you want to do it on your own campus? Yes, yeah. Pose for the camera and all that stuff. That's all y'all can do. But at the same time, don't do it on campus. Okay? Like, you'll win the game. I'll give you that. Don't ever do that. You don't want to do that. So, but I do see us. Oh man! Right now, I do. If I were to be a betting man, I'll say 1-4. and the one would be when the one win would be against La Tech because we could play against those guys, even though they got a new head coach. So that would be what, 3-6 at the time. That 9th game coming up, we got 3 games left. If we go 3-6, I don't know, but we'll see what this team is made of, man. I think it's a crucial stretch. We got to get our offense in line. If we're going to be a running team, if we're going to be a passing team, like I said, we got to see what the defense will give us in these next 5 games, which are crucially important. Let's go to my last point, my final take, okay, about this offense. About this team. The athletic director, Warren Baker, is no more in sight when they lose these games, because we got our ass kicked twice. We beat Texas Southern, which Texas Southern is Texas Southern. We knew that from the start of the game. We knew that they gave us a fight in the first half. We knew we were going to run away with that. We can't play. That shows us where we're at right now. And I saw a quote in the paper that was given to me. This was before this UNLV game that was played in the paper, and I'm quoting. Winning that game will say a lot about where UNT is as a program. Yes. And, I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, if we win, then that means it jumpstarts the program. But we lost that game, so it means that we're 2 steps back. We're further down the line. More, other teams are going up here. We're like deep. We're digging ourselves a hole, guys, down there to the point of no return. So I think that's where we're at right now with this team, as far as UNT goes. Could it get better? We don't know, but we got it. But we got to stop giving this team praise, especially Ani. Okay, we know he's the oldest quarterback in football. You don't have to repeat the same stuff numerous times. We know that. There's other players out there that are like his age or older and that's playing college football. There's no joke. I mean, it's not a surprise. They don't get much attention as Ani does. I mean, he's 29 years old. He could play another season or another two seasons. It's just, we got to stop with that praise, guys. We got to stop giving this team praises, because if we give them praises, it will go over their head and they'll forget what football's all about. Then we won't win titles in our conference. So no more praise. You don't give Alabama praise. I mean, when they lose a game, it's like the house is on fire. Texas, same thing. But I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Stop giving praise. Until I see consistency, then yes, I will celebrate and do all the things. But I got to see consistency first. Now, that's the end of our show. I do want to appreciate Gabe on his expertise on the Cowboys. We will do this again. But other than that, guys, coming up next week, I want to give praise. Speaking of praises, I want to give praise to the Las Vegas Aces for winning their championship. And I do want to give praise to Becky Hammond being the first head coach. Winning a championship, former player that played in the WNBA, all that stuff. So I'm going to give her praise next week and dive deeper into what the WNBA needs to do moving forward to have continuous success. But we're going to talk about that next week, and also we're going to recap the Giants game, which is a Monday night game on ESPN. We're going to definitely recap that and see where we go from here. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out.